And it doesn't matter where that position is right now. You can be seated, you can be laying down. Just allow your eyes to close or your eye gaze to soften. And bringing yourself into this moment. Observing every sensation that your breath creates right now. Observing exactly how it feels for your chest, your lungs to expand. And how it feels for the breath to leave. Observing how the floor feels beneath you. Feeling the temperature of the room that you're in. The feeling of your clothes resting on your skin. Feeling the sense of relief through your body as you exhale. And feeling the sensation of energy as you breathe in. Now you can change energy to whatever works with you. Maybe you feel revitalized as you breathe in, refreshed. Calm and at peace as you let go. You're going to take one really long breath here. And then begin to make some small movements. Now our first posture for the day is dangling. So we're actually going to make our way up off of the floor into standing. Or, well, there's no need to go all the way up. We're in our forward fold position. Take your feet to roughly the width of your hips or your shoulders. Gives you a much sturdier base. And then we bend the knees just as much as your body needs to try and create some connection between your chest and your thighs. If you feel like you're really far away, don't worry about it. What you can do is fill the space with cushions. If it's comfortable for you to drop the crown of the head towards the floor and take hold of the forearms to just hang, then go for that option. But if that doesn't feel good for you, or you've got low blood pressure, place your elbows onto your thighs instead. Maybe just much more gentler way to be here. And visualize the breath moving from the soles of the feet all the way up the backs of the legs into the hips, and the breath out melts all the way down your back to the crown of your head, to your elbows, to your wrists. The goal of this pose is not to get the deepest stretch you can in your hamstrings. Sometimes that will just happen anyway, but the goal is to be relaxed and calm through the whole nervous system. Allowing your breath to remain long and constant. There are never any pauses. It's just a constant flow of in and out. And maybe some swaying. And maybe some other sensations that you notice. Can you allow yourself to let go a little extra with every exhalation? I'm just going to stay here for 3 more breaths. Feeling heavier as you exhale. Lighter as you inhale. And to make your way out of the pose safely, let go of any part of your arm that you're holding on to. Place your hands either to your shins or to the floor and just walk your eye gaze forward slowly. Just let your blood pressure stabilize before moving too quickly. If you've got any cushions on your lap, allow them to be moved out of the way, and then stepping one leg back a long step and drop the knee down. And here, if you want to place a cushion or blanket or something soft underneath your knee, then go for it. Drag your weight forwards. If it feels like the floor's really far away, then you can use something to raise your hands on as well. And then just allow your foot to roll onto the outer edge and the knee to slide really wide. So we have a really open space through the front of the pelvis. Just have a little move around through the hips a little bit. Make sure you feel settled in your dragon. And if at any time you want to come onto the forearms, then you're welcome to come down as well. Again, filling the space. If it feels like it's too far, this time feeling your inhalation travel from the front of the foot that's behind your hips, all the way up the front of your thigh into your chest. And then let your exhale allow your front leg here to melt sideways more laterally. Feeling revitalized in that inhalation and feeling soothed in the exhalation. Some of those poses are just hard to stay in, isn't it? It can get a little intense. So keep focusing on your breathing. I'm just going to take 3 more breaths here. Envisioning your pelvis widening and then melting. At the end of your 3 breaths, you're going to come up, climb up into your hands through your forearms. Bring your knee in and bring the sole of your foot to the floor. If you've got anything in the way there, move it out of the way. And then you're going to take your foot across to the opposite side and sit down onto your butt cheek. I'll move around this way a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. So here, deer pose. You're going to create a 90-degree angle with that front leg. So ankle level with your knee. And your other leg is at a 90-degree angle from the hip. So the knee and the foot are not touching. We've got a little external rotation here from that front leg and then internal rotation here from the back leg. Then we're going to take a twist towards the knee that's in front. Just gently draw the belly in. Keep the chest wide and open. And just actively press, continue to press that roll, that back hip in. You're not going to stay here for long. So breathe length up the back of your spine and then softness into your shoulders. And gently unravel. We're going to do the same on the other side. So if you padded your knee on the first side, place your cushion in the right space. Winged dragon. Pulling the weight forwards here. Sliding onto the outer edge of the foot. If you wish to come down onto the forearms, then you can. If it takes a little while of being here before you want to come down to the forearms, and that is absolutely fine as well. You just got to make this work for you, your body, and even the day. Observing the sensations that you feel. Maybe your hip flexor feels particularly tight. Maybe it's in that front leg where you feel the restriction. If it feels too intense, just back off a little. Give yourself the opportunity to feel comfortable. Observing where your body is right now in comparison to where it was a few moments ago. Just some sensation. Just taking your last 3 breaths here. And slowly coming back up onto your hands. If you're on your forearms, rolling from the outer edge of the foot to the sole of the foot. And then bringing your front ankle just across to the other side, creating 2 90-degree angles with the legs. Roll out onto the butt cheek of your front leg and roll the back leg inwards through the outer edge with the hip to the inner edge. And then taking the twist, crossing the opposite hand outside the knee. Bringing a deeper sense of ease to your hips. Taking one more breath. And then let it go. Unraveling. And then making your way down onto your back. Bringing your hips, either keeping them central or sliding them over to the right side of your mat. Taking your feet to the bottom left-hand corner, the banana, bringing your shoulders to the top left-hand corner. And before you go any further, just checking in that your hips and your pelvis are evenly placed on the floor, so you're not rolling onto one side of your hip more than the other. And then gently taking hold of the right wrist with the left hand and just guiding the side of your body into a much longer position. If it's uncomfortable in your shoulders, bend your elbows more. If you find that your arms are nowhere near the floor, feel free to place cushions underneath. And then if you want that a little extra, cross the right ankle on top of the left ankle. It's such a great pose for finding length in the side of the body. Opens up that whole lower part of the torso and up into the side of the rib cage. So as you breathe in, start to visualize your rib cage spreading wider. The back of your rib cage pressing down into the floor. And as you let it go, find that sense of ease from every limb that's leading out of it. So relaxing the arms, relaxing all the way down the spine, into the hips, into the legs. Maybe just gently rolling your right hip bone down towards the floor a little bit more. I'm just going to take 3 more breaths here. And changing sides. Starting by bringing your shoulders back to the centre and crossing the leg if it's crossing over the ankle, and lifting the hips, sliding them over to the left edge of your mat, taking the ankles to the bottom right hand side of the mat and sliding the shoulders to the direction of the top right hand corner of your mat, taking hold of the left wrist with the right hand. Feeling that curved shape through the side body. Making sure that both sides of the back of your pelvis and the backs of your legs are equally pressing on the floor. And if you want that extra, then crossing left ankle over the right ankle. Envision your breath creating length all the way along the left side of your body, from your feet all the way up to your left armpit, to your left hand. And then the exhale allows you to let go of the places where you may be unnecessarily holding tension without realising it. Often that can be through the back of the torso. Maybe it can even be the way you're gently grasping onto your wrist. One final long deep breath in. Amazing calming breath out. And then slowly bringing your way back into the centre of your mat. I'm going to give you several options here. Well, 2 options in fact, because one of them may not be suitable for everyone. So option number 1 is to come into butterfly with the feet together, the knees wide, having the feet as far away or as close as you wish, and then rounding down and finding that length all the way across the spine, across the back. So that's one option you can do if you want to do something a little different. And it's okay for your neck to do this. We're going to come into snail. Where we roll the feet over the head. An option here again, you can bend the knees down towards the ears or keep the legs straight. You can support your lower back with your hands as well if you wish. This just gives a little bit more of intense stretch along the back of the body. But again, this isn't for everyone. You do not have to do it if you do not wish to. But if you are in snail, breathe length all across the spine from the neck all the way up to the tailbone. And then let that travel along the backs of your legs down to your feet as you exhale. If you are in folded butterfly, as you breathe in, feel the back of the ribcage expanding. And as you let it go, let your knees now, let your inner thighs now. And if you're in your butterfly, you're aiming to pull your hips back as much as possible to get a much deeper sensation through the lower part of the back. Relaxing the neck, relaxing the shoulders. You breathe space. in between each part of the rib cage. Giving that illusion that your body's becoming lighter, freer. Not just a physical tension, but of thoughts and emotional tension. Taking 3 more deep breaths. And then slowly making your way out, rolling down onto your back slowly if you're in snail. And then everyone take a seat. I'll just spin around a second. And then tilt your head towards one direction. Gently lifting the chin. And then drop the chin down towards the opposite armpit. It's the opposite, it's the armpit of the head that you're tilting towards. And then gently lift your head back up, tilt your head the other way. Again, aim the chin upwards to begin with. Pull the shoulders back and down. And then turn the eye gaze down towards the armpit. Gently return your head back to upright. If you need to do anything else to feel a little bit looser in your neck, then go for it. Maybe circle the head around a few times. Making sure you change direction. And bringing the legs together, feet flat to the floor, just roll the legs side to side. And here, we're going to lay down onto the back again. You may want to use a belt, but you do not have to at all. Taking your left leg up towards the ceiling. And then if you do want to use a belt, you can place a belt just around the sole of the foot. Your right leg can be bent with the foot flat to the floor, or elongate that leg as far as possible. And just find that stretch through the back of the leg. Slight softness to the knee. If you don't have a belt, just gently hold on to whichever part of your leg your hands reach to. Allow your shoulders, your upper back, your hips to melt into the floor. Feeling just a gentle weight of your body, creating that deeper sensation in the hamstring. Almost getting the feeling like you're hanging from your leg. Again with this, don't force yourself into a place. Go there in the most relaxed state that you can. And take 3 more breaths here. Then you're going to take your belt straps, if you've got a belt, into your right hand, or place your right hand to the outer edge of the left leg. And then you're going to roll your left leg all the way down to the floor. So we come into a twist. So you're rolling onto your right hip. Choices here that if you've got the belt, you can continue to stretch your hamstring just by holding on wherever you can to your belt, keeping the leg long. Take your left shoulder blade down towards the floor. If there's any space, pad it with a cushion. Or if you want to add in cat's tail, take hold of the right ankle with the right hand, left hand. Just getting a little hip extension through the front of the right leg. A little squeeze of your right butt cheek to find it and then relax it. Twisted postures bring that deep and energizing feeling to the body. They're also very calming for the nervous system and very stimulating for all of the organs that are inside you. And tuning into those sensations that you feel, because all of those sensations are doing little bits of magic. Take 3 more breaths, envisioning the length from your left hip down to your left foot. Exhaling, feeling the shoulder blades melting further into the ground. At the end of your three breaths, if you've got hold of the right foot, let it go and straighten that leg. If you've got hold of the belt, you can use that, or even your leg, just to return the left leg back up to the ceiling. Remove the belt and then change legs. Hamstring stretch. If you choose to flex your foot, remove the stretch into the calf as well as the hamstring. Get the muscles in your upper back, your mid back, and then your lower back. Soften and ease. Feeling the inhalation lift from center of your pelvis up the length of your right leg into the heel as if your leg's trying to touch the ceiling. As you exhale, feel the muscles in the back of the leg, then letting go. Length into space. Just taking that one more breath here. And then passing the belt straps into your left hand, or placing your left hand onto the outer edge of the right leg as you guide the leg down to the left side. Rolling onto your left hip. Reaching the right arm out along the floor. So we feel we have that anchor. If it doesn't feel right for you to keep your legs straight, feel free to bend your right leg. And if you wish to find cat's tail, bend your left knee, draw the heel towards the bum, reach down and find the ankle or the foot, or an item of clothing. Breathing peace into your whole body. When you breathe out, just let that feeling settle. Taking 3 more deep breaths here. And then when you're ready, slowly letting go of the places that you're touching, you're holding on to. Rolling onto your back and placing yourself into a position of comfort. If you want to wrap yourself up in anything that's warmer, then go for it. As well, you blankets, sleeping bags, duvets. Counting the length of your inhalation and allowing the exhalation to be longer. There's no need to worry about how much longer. Just observe what happens. Anytime your mind starts to wander away from the count or away from this present moment in time, as soon as you acknowledge that it's happened, as soon as you notice, bring it back, just simply by counting. Having no expectation whatsoever. There is no such thing as perfection. After your next exhalation, allow your count to end. And then just become aware of the sensations that you feel in your body. Become aware of the feeling of the temperature of the room, the sounds in your house. Maybe the sound of the rain outside. And slowly welcoming movement back into your body. Doing whatever your body needs right now. Although if you wish to stay there, then you're welcome to. In your own time, in your own way, bring yourself back up.